Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre EX manual. This is one of the facelift models, really sought after, fabulous looking car as well, finished in twilight blue, just 50,000 miles on the clock, and comes with a full Honda service history. And it's very, very nice indeed. Front of the car, lights and lenses there, clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet, very, very clean indeed. Near side of the vehicle, lovely and smooth in the panel work. There's no obvious indentations that jump out at all. Get the dog up there a second. Very, very crisp in the panel work, has to be said. Wheels look very nice. And then to the offside of the vehicle, driver's side. Again, beautifully smooth. There's no indentations there at all. Alloys again on this side, fabulous condition. It really is a very, very clean car indeed. Not to say that there will be the odd minor mark, of course there is. It's a 7-year-old car now, so it's bound to pick up on one or two, but if they're on there, they're few and far between and light. Just coming to the boot of the car now. You see electric tailgate working exactly as it should. Absolutely cavernous boot, and unlike so many, it's been kept in very nice condition. Coming to the back now, absolutely enormous amounts of legroom in the back, and the leatherwork is in fantastic condition back here, which again is a rarity because normally they're very heavily used. So coming to the front on the passenger side, again all very nice and clean and tidy. Coming to the front, driver's door card, again all very clean. Footwear is nice, and driver's seat again generally good. Just the normal amount of wear where you see people sliding in and out. That's exactly as they normally are. So inside the car now, engine's running as always this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard in beautiful condition, sat nav working exactly as it should. Let's pop the car into reverse there. That lovely clear gridded parking camera, and all working exactly as intended. So it's been kept very, very nicely indeed. And come across the main dash binnacle, hopefully you can see, so it's just doing its tyre pressure check. You've got 50,605 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. Right then, this is a quick road test video. And this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre EX manual. Car's registered WH65UHV, and with a mileage of 50,605 recorded. The reason for doing all of our videos is very, very simple indeed. It's basically to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. This particular car, as you'll probably know from the advert, been very, very well looked after. All of its servicing being done by the Honda main dealers, and it feels like it absolutely straight away. It just feels incredibly solid and taut and tight on the road. You know, it's just someone's invested well in the car, which is lovely to see. Engine starts instantly, push button start, settles to smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car for that matter, and temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are just lovely units. They are very refined, sweet revving, docile, tractable, reliable, long-lasting, all the hallmarks you'd expect of a Honda, but just such a pleasant engine to use day in, day out, and very economical actually, with just just normal driving styles. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox of the car. Clutch on the car, as you'd expect, light, smooth, positive. Bike point exactly where it's meant to be, so all in fine order indeed. The gearbox is your typical Honda gearbox, absolutely brilliant. Starts with the positioning of the gear lever, and mounted up nice and high up here. It's just a natural plane of movement, but unlike so many cars of its type, the movement's relatively short. Some you get into, and they've got kind of like commercial van style gearboxes where you've got the lever has to go miles. This is just short, snappy, quality throws. It's just a lovely sort of tight feeling gearbox, and it's got a sort of a mechanical feel to the gearbox which is sort of unmatched actually in its class, in my personal opinion. And that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. It's just zero weariness at all. All feels lovely in hand. Coming to the steering of the car, Honda, I mean, basically the CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and it's fairly easy to see why as soon as you drive them, because they're just such a pleasant car to drive, and the steering and the chassis have got a lot to do with that, because basically it's a very difficult task that they're given. What they're trying to accomplish really is to give you a comfortable family car, but one that can still go through corners without lolloping around. So you've either got to be very stiffly sprung and then very unforgiving on the road, or soft but wallowy through the corners. But Honda managed to give you this lovely combination, where we're driving along now. It's a very compliant, comfortable ride. But when you go through the corners, you don't get lots of motion. They can't defy physics. You still are up taller than normal car, but you don't feel as though you've been thrown about. And my kids are particularly prone to car sickness, and yet they don't get it in the CR-Vs. And we've gone up some sort of fairly challenging roads up through Wales to see my family, and they're not green, and they have been in other cars. By the way, there's also absolutely no rattles or clonks coming back through the suspension. Everything feels, as I said, absolutely as tight as a drum. The steering is really nicely done because it's got a weight to it. And again, I really hate the tendencies for some manufacturers to give you kind of very light steering, but completely devoid of any feel or any substance. This is really nicely done. It feels really kind of fluid in action, even though it's electric power steering. But it's kind of weighty enough to give you, real confidence on the road. So they've done a fantastic job on it, in my personal opinion. Steering, by the way, track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, actually. So all in very, very fine order indeed. So we're going on a different test drive route to what I've been doing for years, just that they're doing some roadworks on the roads we normally use, which is rare indeed, but actually I kind of prefer going on this route. It's got a sort of nicer mix of corners. Anyway, coming back to the car, coming to the interior, the first thing you notice about any Honda of this generation particularly is just how well put together they are. There's absolutely no squeaks and rattles from the interior. It's beautifully put together. Dashboard is highly equipped, but not a dashboard that you get into and it's sort of like, oh, how are we going to control all these buttons and everything else? It becomes, after a couple of days of driving, second nature. It's very easy to use. You've also got brilliant visibility in these cars. You feel, again, it's all about feeling control of the car, and Honda are very good at doing this. So I can actually see the bonnet. I've got great rearwards, sideways visibility with these massive wing mirrors. So, if you drive around the lanes, it's great, but if you're on the motorway, equally, you feel in control of the car and without blind spots. But coming back to the dashboard, everything's working exactly as it should. You've got sat-nav, as you can see there. You've got a dual zone climate control system, which gives you different temperatures side to side if you so wish. Sorry, it's a bit glary with the sun, I do apologise, now I'm going directly into it. The climate control system also pumps out absolutely ice cold air. We tried that in a nice warm workshop earlier on. All of the switchgear that Honda give you is brilliantly done. Everything they give you is sort of this kind of lovely kind of tactile feel to it. It feels substantial, it feels engineered, beautifully put together. All of it is absolutely superb. Dash binnacle in front, just simple, legible dials, dead easy to take the information and read. And you've got this lovely small diameter leather-bound steering wheel. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, because not all of them are, of course. But basically it runs in front wheel drive pretty much the whole time, so in two-wheel drive, because it's not permanent. and it does it all for you. There's no buttons to press, nothing at all. It's absolute genius in the way it operates. So what happens is, if, you know, for sake of argument, I was to pull away on some sort of snow, mud or ice, the front wheels lost grip, it instantly and seamlessly brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and that's it. And it is fantastic in operation. With ours, we tow a caravan, and, you know, with this time of year, it can be quite interesting, especially on grass pitches, and we'll never come close to getting stuck. And its lack of use gives it its inherent reliability as well, because, you know, we've been selling these for decades now, and we've never so much put a spanner on one from memory. It also means you're going to use less fuel. You can get through your tyres far less quickly than the permanent four-wheel drive system, and you put far less mechanical stress to the vehicle as well. So it really is kind of a win-win in every situation, which is why it's designed in that particular way. As I said at the start of the video, and again I apologise, the sun's very low in our face right at the moment, it won't be in a second. I can't fault it. It drives absolutely beautifully, but they always do, in fairness, but it's been very well looked after, and clearly so.